You know that feeling when you're stuck, spinning your wheels alone, banging your head against some invisible wall while the world around you is moving faster and faster? Yeah, that crushing frustration that no matter how smart you are, how hard you grind, it feels like the system is just bleeding you dry and no breakthroughs coming. You're not the problem. The problem is the poisonous silence that's been built into every part of the startup game. No one tells you this straight. Innovation doesn't just happen because you want it to. It happens because you're part of a living ecosystem that breathes, fights, and feeds off itself. And most places, they don't have that. They're dead zones. You're trying to run a race where everyone around you is running with bricks on their feet, or worse, no one's running at all. Here's what's missing, and it'll piss you off. Real startup ecosystems aren't made by accident. They explode because they're tight nets of real humans who get it. Founders who push each other, investors who aren't just writing checks, but are screaming at you to be better, and communities that tear down every excuse you use to settle for less. If you're sitting on the sidelines waiting for some magic fairy or government program, stop. That's the noise designed to keep your head down and wallet open. The secret sauce, raw, untamed synergy, is in the people who refuse to play by the rules, who shatter the usual networking bullshit and lean into brutal honesty and hard lessons. You want your startup ecosystem to light up with fire? Then start tearing down the fake walls you and others built. Surround yourself with founders who don't just nod, but call you out the second you start coasting. Get investors who don't settle for a pitch deck but demand war stories, proof you've been bloodied and survived. Build your own feedback loop with zero tolerance for safe, polite conversations. Stop hiding your failures. Start showing them off. That's where innovation screams the loudest. When founders get together and expose their worst mistakes, that's when ideas get real and dangerous. That's when your ecosystem starts to breathe. If you want to create that, you need brutal transparency and zero bullshit. The willingness to tear apart ideas in front of each other because you know the alternative is death by slow boredom. That's how innovation scales. You rip open the wound, then throw in salt, not ointment. You want investors? Find the ones who are ready to challenge, not comfort you. That energy is addictive. It's painful, but it works. And forget about waiting for the system to give you a hand, because it won't. The current models reward safety, mediocrity, and comfort. They want you to sit down, shut up, and not rewrite the rules. Your job isn't to fit in. It's to build your own damn ecosystem if it doesn't exist. Identify the few people who see the world like you do, not because they look like you or come from your city, but because they're obsessed with the same brutal climb. Reach out. Build brutally honest relationships rooted in real value, not LinkedIn connections or empty promises. Create micro-communities where feedback hits like a punch and support feels like a lifeline. If you want your startup ecosystem to explode, you have to breathe life into it yourself. Be relentless about finding people who challenge the status quo. Build intense, no-fluff conversations. Lock yourself in rooms where failure isn't cursed, it's celebrated, where ideas are ripped apart and rebuilt. Get obsessive about cutting out everyone who drains your fuel. And for God's sake, hold investors and partners to the highest possible standard. Let them know their money isn't a gift. It's a weapon they carry in this war. And if they're not ready to swing it, tell them to step aside. Innovation, real, world-moving innovation, doesn't come from comfort zones or safe rooms. It comes from brutal, unfiltered connection, from pushing beyond every damn limit, and from a crew that isn't afraid to knock you down and then pull you up again, tougher than before. If you're waiting for a hero or a magic formula, stop. You are the ecosystem. You build it or you stay stuck. This isn't about building another startup. It's about creating the kind of environment where ideas mutate, fight, survive, and then explode. Get in the fight. Get real with the people who matter and demand more, because nothing else will get you anywhere close to what you want. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and open the featured link to discover more.